Sergeant Moore passed away yesterday morning after what police are calling just that, a major medical event. Take a close look. This isn't your typical white drone. Every single part on here is specially picked, some even 3D printed. Now, the point of this, to try and beat the clock. The search officially on for a new head coach of the Raiders after the team announced it would be firing Jack Del Rio on Sunday. You have to watch your speed. You have to watch the road conditions. You also want to make sure that your windshield wipers are on. And we have a health alert for you this morning. You may want to rethink eating romaine lettuce, at least that is for now. Instead of opening the doors, they just decided to crash into these two doors. They backed up their car. It was just last month that we were talking about a supermoon. Well, if you missed that one, you can catch another one tonight. It was just around 3:30 when California Highway Patrol officers say that this big rig left the roadway, went up that ramp and crashed. Kern County leaders may have voted to ban the regulation and sale of marijuana last year, but now the issue could end up back in the hands of voters. And we talked to neighbors moments ago who said that the family wasn't actually living in the storage area here behind me. Neighbors said that the family was living in a makeshift tent here right outside. And if you got a puppy for Christmas, well, lucky you. You might want to consider having them spayed or neutered. On the corner of West Drive and Virginia Street in East Bakersfield is a place no parent wants their child to grow up near.
It's bad. I mean, you got out needles laying around, you got people in there smoking drugs, drinking, passed out in chairs. They don't do nothing.
Neighbors are fed up with a property that was once a thriving business, but now stands a vacant lot after a fire broke out.
So nothing's getting done at that corner.
And it's now a hotspot for homelessness, drugs, and everything in between. It's made some neighbors nervous to even step outside, like this man who preferred to remain nameless and off camera.
I don't even walk in the neighborhood anymore. I can't even walk to the liquor store where I live.
Residents have filed multiple complaints with the Kern County Code Compliance, but the agency hasn't been able to resolve the issue as fast as they would like.
We have received several complaints from the neighborhood. There are some prominent businesses in that area. There's a school near that area. So this is an urgent matter for us. We're trying to resolve it as quickly as possible, but there is a legal process that we have to follow.
However, for Arthur, a father of 4, his main concern is for his children and the toll seeing drugs so close to home could have in their lives.
I got a 13-year-old kid that walks by there and they see it. And when the kids start seeing it and start seeing it all the time, they're going to start wanting to do it because they think it's all right.
And he's willing to do whatever it takes to make his neighborhood a better place.
We need this cleaned up. They're saying they want to clean up the east side. Let's do it. Now, Arthur also sent me pictures of what the inside of the property looks like, and we can see it's just as trashed on the inside. There's random furniture lying all over the place, as well as clothes, so it's obvious that people are living inside. Code Compliance does urge the community to report issues similar to this one so they can get it taken care of as soon as possible. In the Live Center, back to you, James. Charlotte went from being a child to being in the military to being on popular car shows, but now he finds comfort working with his hands from his garage. Tape, angle grinder, and paint. For an average person, these things may not mean much.
I learned that I require something called instant gratification. And my artwork and building the flags that I do and stuff brings me that instant gratification.
Instant gratification for a veteran who fought in Desert Storm. Eric Scarlett knew he was struggling because of what he'd been through.
You remember it later in time. Those are things you remember. You know, you remember your friend cutting his finger off. Well, you definitely remember somebody that died. I promise you.
Those moments serving our country etched into his memories. Memories that would haunt him. Memories that would lead him to being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. But he's been able to channel that. And after being honorably discharged, he started doing something new. Making the flags became not only a way to cope with his past, but a way to try and move past those memories.
It was really odd to be 18 and see a lot of burned people and children, and I'd never seen anybody dead. I'd had enough.
Eric began channeling his energy into his art, something he did mainly for one person.
I don't do it for other people, and I don't care what other people feel. I do it because it's a selfishness of heartfelt for me. It makes me feel good.
And so his metal flag business kicked off and gained popularity.
From October 31st of 2017 till now, I've made probably well over 130 of them.
The flags are a constant reminder of everything he's endured.
But I look at it and know that I did it, I fought for it, and that I can accomplish anything so long as I set my mind to it. It may just be a small piece of metal, but it's a lot that comes out of my hands to do them.
Eric stressed that even though he struggles with PTSD and depression every day, his goal is to continue waking up and working as hard as he possibly can.
Take a close look. This isn't your typical white drone. Every single part on here is specially picked, some even 3D printed. Now, the point of this, to try and beat the clock.
This is typically what drones have been used for, to capture scene footage. But the Bakersfield Multi-Rotor Club uses drones for something a bit more fast-paced.
Drone racing actually, it puts you in the perspective of the drone, so it feels like you're actually the one flying it, you know?
The group is the only official drone racing club in Bakersfield made up of guys who share their love for the new sport. That love especially evident in one of the members.
You can be on the ground 1 second and then less than a second later you're 200 feet in the air.
But before the racing can start, every drone is custom built.
It's got 4 motors, 4 propellers, it's got speed controllers which you can't see.
And the most important part,
the FPV camera here, that feeds video back to a set of goggles.
And once the drones are set to go, it's time to race.
We've got a track out here set up, and you're basically just supposed to fly through each gate the right direction.
And these drones, they fly fast. They can actually reach up to 65 miles an hour during some of these races.
As for the winner, that can only be determined in one way.
At the end of those 5 rounds, whoever has the most points is the winner.
And one thing is for sure among all the pilots in the race when it comes to putting their drones to the test.
It's 100% skill.
Skill that keeps all of the members coming back every weekend to give the track another shot.
The race is completed.
Now, during these races, there can be anywhere between 2 and 55 pilots, all trying to walk away with that #1 spot.